You mentioned Wedding Crashers earlier, and that was like one of those formative comedies for my generation for sure. And you mentioned that was when you got that script. Did it kind of like drawn to you, or did they come to you with that? Because I mean, you're incredible in that movie.
Well, thank you. So there's a really interesting story to this, and I'm glad you asked. So I heard that I was submitted for it. In other words, a ton of actors, pretty much every actress my age that's known had tried out for this role. And I read it, and I went, oh my God, this is the funniest thing I've ever read, and especially that scene. Yeah. But what a shame. I've just been doing Dr. Quinn. All my fan base, they'll go nuts globally. I can't do this. I read it again. It gets even funnier the second time. What a shame. I wish I could. Third time I went, what the heck? I have to. So now I go in and I have to audition. Well, I've never really auditioned in my entire life because I got plucked out of obscurity when I was 17 and I've been working ever since. So this whole idea of having a little camera there and someone saying, try out was, I get panic attack. It was like, oh, you're watching me. Like if you give me the role and I'm on set, I am that person. So the whole audition thing I've never really studied. So there I'm auditioning. So the producer, they called me up, my agent, and they said, can the director speak to you tonight on the phone? I said, of course. So David Dobkin calls and says, look, do you think if you come back you could up the sexuality a bit? I said, well, yes, if I'm not playing opposite to another woman my own age who's a casting director who is not a guy. I said, but I mean, it just would help. So they brought in this really hot And they said, why don't you go into that room and
you
rehearse?
Don't have to speak
and
so
I'm just
nicely
going,
about me, Jane.
I'm just going, I can't go in a room with this 6 foot something gorgeous, very young guy. And so we rehearse and we go out and we do it and kill it, obviously. And I get the role. And the funniest thing was the producers and the director then said, you're just amazing. We loved you in Live and Let Die. Like, what did they think I've been doing for the last 35 years? I was 20 then. Really? You thought that I did one film, never worked again, and now randomly you found me.
But everybody has I would say their first introduction to Jane Seymour, right? Like that was, and for me, like a 10-year-old kid, when Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman came on my TV, I turned to my dad and goes, do all doctors in the Old West look like that? And my dad was like, they do not, son. They do not. And you mentioned, obviously Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. I mean, that was such a huge thing here in the States. And for somebody that grew up in Pittsburgh, that was our Friday night. It was Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. And then you get the role in, what was, after Wedding Crashers, what was the reaction like?
Oh, I got offered my own TV series doing Modern Men, I think it was called. Okay. It was a 3-camera comedy. But you have to understand, I was actually going to do a comedy series for Paramount, which they were writing for me when I got offered Dr. Quinn. And I went to them and I said, look, what do I do? I said, I need money. I'd gone through a terrible divorce, lost everything, homeless, penniless, beyond penniless, and I needed to work. And they said, oh, we know that script. Oh, it's a lovely script, but it'll never be a series because it's a woman in the lead. It's a period piece. It's, family values, yada, 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 and a doctor too. So I said, okay, so I'll just sign and do it. She said, yep, don't worry, we'll have ours ready. So I was going to be doing comedy, and then I segued into this thing that just suddenly became hugely successful. It's still playing in 98 countries.
Wow.
Plays every day somewhere here, definitely in France, every day, all day, every day, I think, in France. And if I go to Romania, I can't move because after Ceausescu, whatever his name was deposed, that's all they saw was Dr. Quinn. I am so famous in Romania. And I've made 4 movies in Romania, and I've just been asked to go and do a fundraiser in Romania. So
it's not a bad place to be famous.